Hi Manuela.
Hi,
So
Fernando.
today I got Manuela Wilbolds, who's the SEO strategist, content marketing expert, and digital media strategist at ClickDo as well as Seekers. So I'm going to discuss with her about some of the latest SEO strategies that she's been utilizing when doing London Business News, one of the properties now from literally very little traffic to came to 500 visitors a day, and it's heading towards 1,000 visitors a day mark. So she's been using a lot of SEO strategies. She really likes the quality of the content. So I want to ask the top things that she does when it comes to SEO, when she want to go a website from ground up. And because London Business News is just one, Green Living blog, the ClickDo blogs, Georgia blog, the ClickDo educational blog went on massive traffic. So Manuela, tell some of the SEO strategies that are working right now that you practice, that you think every newbie blogger should be doing if they want to grow the blog.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think what's key now with SEO is that, you have to first of all identify a suitable topic, obviously, and then you have to look for suitable keywords that are quite easy to rank for, especially if you've just set up the blog. If it's quite new, that means your domain rating is quite low and you wouldn't have many backlinks yet. So you want to target keywords that have a low keyword difficulty, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what we have done also with London Business News and with Green Living blog. So if you, for example, Google what is Green Living, then the Green Living blog article.
I think just rank just for Green Living. You don't even have to say that's one of the things that's just even if you Google Green Living, I saw that was very impressive. And
that was one of the first articles I published on there, and it still gets us so many clicks because it's about exactly what we cover on the blog, because that's the name, Green Living blog, and it gets the right people to come because they will be looking for those topics. So then, after I published that article, then I went on thinking about different subtopics that go under Green Living, and from there it grew. So, we now have, for example, I did a list post with the best eco-friendly products, and that has been getting a lot of traffic as well, because obviously people, when they think about Green Living, they want to change what they buy, they want to change what they use, right? Because they don't want to use too much plastic, for example, they want alternatives. So it kind of organically grows from once you have an idea for a blog and the name, and then you have to find those keywords that you can create tailored content for that is going to attract the right audience. That's what you want in the beginning. Then, so once you have published a few articles that focus on those keywords that are easier to rank for, you should then try to branch out and think, okay, what else can we cover on this website, on this blog? Because obviously you don't want to just it is of course a niche, but you want to make sure that it can grow, and you want to make sure that it can cater to many different interests as well. Because especially if you want to monetize it, for example, then you will have to offer a platform that a lot of people would be interested in, to collaborate with you, or to get something published on your website, or to maybe get an affiliate cooperation with you, or whatever, sponsorship. And there are many different options. Even membership model could work as well for a blog. If you're really thinking about, okay, I want to create a blog where people can subscribe to get, for example, premium content, access to premium content. So you would have some content that is accessible to everyone, and then you make some content that is of really high quality with lots of information. You make it a premium.
Yeah, some of the newspapers, and when
they do that as well.
It's a little hard strategy unless you're like a brand.
Yeah.
So
no, but I'm saying you have to think about your strategy, right? So with London Business News, for example, what we have developed, or how it has grown, is we have received inquiries then. So one thing you definitely need is a contact page, and you need some pages where you explain what you offer, and then people inquire through that, and that's how you make your first sales, basically, or you make your first collaborations. And basically that's how London Business News grew, because we got inquiries from the website and people asking if they can be featured, because they saw the example post, they saw the posts that we have published, they saw the interviews as well. So we started doing interviews, and from there it grew. So Sometimes it can happen organically as well. But what I would say is always have the target audience in mind and really make sure that the content is unique. Because what we do with interviews, for example, people, ask us to have an interview, and then I tailor the questions, and I do that with some keywords in mind. So, I don't just go, I'll ask these questions. I really think about, okay, what could this rank for? What could be the focus of this interview? What keyword would it link with? And then that way we optimize even the interview content, because the questions could be questions that people search for on Google, for example, right? So that's kind of, what you have to think about when you want to make sure that your content and the content that you maybe offer your clients ranks on Google and on Bing and on other search engines. So it's all about being strategic when you plan the content, and also explain it to other people. So when people send content, make sure that you review the content and it really works for your website, and it has so for example, I don't accept articles that have links in them that have nothing to do with the topic, because I don't believe that Google would really rank those articles, because they look for context, they look for valuable information, and they will only rank content that kind of ticks those boxes for Google. And that's why, when I get content like that, I make suggestions to the client. I will say, okay, this is a good article, but what we need to do is we need to maybe change the title, or we might have to tweak some of the subtitles to make it match better with the link that is in there. So, we always try to optimize it. So, I would say those are important.
Pretty good tips on that one, actually. Like, you guys can actually check London Business News and Green Living blog and see the content. These are really premium content. Analyze the keywords and then come across how to get the keyword, and that's a little bit of things like what I really emphasize about getting the keywords on the URL rather than having a long keyword. That's one of the strategies that a lot of you bloggers or anyone who's doing SEO can think about, because
I struggle with that.
I had to correct that, and I always correct that, because that's a skill set that I had from all years that I found out. Having the keyword on the URL, not having a focus. So you give the Google bot, this is the focus term that this need to be, because the shorter version of the exact keyword supported by the title tag, which is the start of the title, ideally have the keyword, then supported by a reader-friendly title, then the meta description, and then the body text. I try to have the keywords. Still, it's been working having the keywords on the initial part. I would say I've noticed like top 25 words, and then the H1 titles. All those things still works. And getting those keywords really help. And then it comes down to unique content, detail, nicely presentation. Everything matters. You don't want to put up another article about somebody have written in that same way. You have to see. So your angle of what is green living, which end up ranking for green living, caters in such a broader way. No other article is catering that way. What is plus about the green living concept? So that was unique. Google decided this is the best bit of content that needs to be ran, and so that's like answering what is the kind of thing which you went about.
I think what I noticed as well is, so if you want to rank, for example, for Google snippets, which really helps. If you want to get a really good exposure, and you rank for Google snippets with your article, that's really amazing. So we did that actually for ClickDo. So we published one article called it's about royal marketing and the tricks of the royal family, how they market their brand. And for that keyword, we actually ranking with the snippets of the article, because we are about marketing at ClickDo, and we try to show different examples of famous brands that how they actually use marketing to build their brand and to make their brand known. And people look for that, and that's why we got the Google snippets as well, because the titles cover those questions that people ask. So I would say bear that in mind as well. And for the Green Living blog, for example, for what is green living, what I did was I didn't just put different points, I link them to everything that we cover on the blog. So each paragraph.
Interlinking is one thing.
Exactly.
Really work, put the work
really
right way. Don't go hardcore anchor, see how she has done.
Yeah.
It's been referencing, showing to Google. This article is actually supported by internal articles.
Exactly, it's linked.
So sending traffic to this piece of content is going to be helpful. The people are going there and it's having sources in a way. Google is smart. Google, what's so smart? Being okay, not that smart. I don't know why they're not really figure it out too. They're like, really, when you look at this,
it's not as effective.
They can make it, but for some reason they make it really super smart. So, but Google is the place where people, most of the people go. Internal linking, cool point, as Manuela said.
Yeah, and I think you want to make sure that your blog shows that it is almost like an expert blog about what you are covering. So that's why the internal linking is important, because you need to show that this article it's not a standalone article, it's linked to other topics as well. So but going back to what you said initially, that what should people do when they are just starting a blog? And I know it's gonna take time.
It takes really time.
When
did you start Green Living blog?
That was in 2020. Luckily, it ranked quite quickly, actually.
2020, right?
Yeah.
It took a few years.
It took a few years because I had to build the content. Because I don't just quickly publish stuff. I review everything.
Yeah, her strategy, I like it. That's the thing. All of us and now most of our team members, they just want to quickly publish content. Yeah. But ultimately, I came to realization the quality content really ends up winning. We see with Green Living blog.
Because what it comes down to is that people actually spend time.
Yeah, people. London Business News, the most on-page time per user on-page time is alone 4 minutes, and it's insane. Per day, more than 40 hours of unique visitor time is spent on London Business. One of the most premium properties. I have very high hope about that. Where it will stand by 2025. Check that London Business News. Just go to London Business News. You will see it on the top of Google and land on that side. That's a very high level of content presentation and internal linking on page SEO structures, the URLs, which is something that I specialize, but her content quality, the content presentation, I really like it, like how you present the list post and how you get that the presentation with your team. So that's a property. If you want to learn from this video from whatever the topics that Manuela said, check the website, see it in an example. If you want to build a brand and news site, a business niche site, even a blog site, focus on a particular niche.
Have a look at Fernando's blog, for example. Fernando
very much into business. I'm really going into real entrepreneurship.
And how he ranks his articles, because his articles show his expertise. So depending obviously on what kind of blog you want to build, if it's a personal blog, if it's a business blog, if it's like he said, a news blog or
niche helps.
Yeah, definitely. So but what it comes down to, like you did for your blog, like I do for my blog, and like I do for all the other blogs, is you have to have those keywords that you want to target. You have to have those topics that you want to target. So you mostly write about business, about digital entrepreneurship, about digital economy. So those are your focus points. And then you find the keywords that you can rank for, and that's what you rank for on Google.
Adding it to that one, the niche specific main focus really helps if you want to rank in the long run. And because if I write about my business blog and all, so if I write totally about meditation, unless it can relate at all in business, it just don't really feel. I feel when we've done in the past when I didn't know, like during the ClickDo early days, I saw like when we tried to publish all thinking that keywords has traffic, so we tried to use domain authority and try to do that. It's not working anymore as in the long run. So try your best to have. So London Business News is going after business news about in London mostly, catering for business owners in London and about the businesses in London. Green Living blog, all the things green, co-living, all the things. So when you have it, so last thing you want is like in a Green Living blog, you come and write about architecture, unless you can. Of course, you can.
Architecture we do actually,
but about nuclear bombs. Unless you can relate nuclear bombs about green living.
You can. So that's the other thing I want to say to you.
But the niche focus,
the niche focus is important. And there is actually a good thing that I just want to touch on. Because if any topic can be catered and tailored, right? So even if, for FernandoRaymond.com, for example, if you think what I write about has nothing to do with architecture, for example, right? Because your blog
is business, deal, entrepreneurship.
But then there could be something to do with, for example, how you can create a digital nomad pad, and then architecture.
That's the thing, really. How you can use an architecture to create a workplace for a real entrepreneur.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can actually cover any topic on your blog as long as it comes back to or links to your core topic, right? So for the Green Living blog, I can cover basically any topic really, as long as it is linked to eco living and green living, right? So in those articles, I have to do that. Otherwise, it's not going to rank. That's the thing. So I think that's one key thing to consider, because if you're building a blog, don't overthink it as well. I did that in the past. I was like, oh, how should I make it look? I spend a lot of time on the design. My one tip now, looking back, is don't overthink the design in the beginning, because the content is what matters.
Content's gonna win. Yeah.
And from the content, then once you see, okay, what works well, what ranks well, what do people want, what are people looking at, then you tailor that on the homepage so that people find it quickly. And then from there, you design the logo and the way it looks and everything. It grows, it just grows, organically. But the content is the key to start, I would say, like 100%.
Content is key in a blogging world. So as in SEO, wait till the AI tools start indexing, because they already think and writing, but I am having a feeling AI can not just think and write as a human. It can maybe run through, scan the web, at least for the what's ranking, what's out there, and come up with a better piece. So your content on the blog should really stand out. It has to be the best content, because that's where the long run traffic is going to keep on coming, and it's always being as high possible as well.
And I have noticed, for example, when I search AI for a topic, and I'd say, please add the sources. It will add the sources, but it will only add the sources that rank at the highest. Yeah, right.
So at the moment, I think the thing is, if you call even ChatGPT, because there is a certain point it actually been fed from the web, but it's going to come down to, I think, real time, which will be once the computers are powerful enough to real time do that analysis on at the sources. That way, things will be really fun. So that way will come. But like websites which have the best sources are going to get picked up.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The highest quality content.
So if you build a blog or a website and you want to make sure that even AI finds you, right, and references you and your website, you have to really make sure that it ranks, because otherwise AI will also maybe not trust it. I think AI is closely linked to what search engines rank and what
it will be actually. It says it's not. It's learning. It's trying to be like a human, but so I think as more and more people start using it, will be once it's on the one phone and everything, people might end up saying, analyze the top 10 websites that has written about this particular topic, and then tell me what's the answer, the conclusion according to that. When that level of analysis is happening, of course, the best content presentation, all these factors come. Quality content, focus on the human. Search engines will that's how it does it. You think about it, sticking keywords on it, that's not the way. If humans like it, they're going to share, they're going to spend time. So London Business is, I can really see how it's articles getting like immediately. You can throw a bit you can throw an article next day or first page. That level starts happening. On-page time is really big, and those search engines must be having trust factors, whereas in the AI tools will also start coming. Okay, London Business News, people love it. We send people there, people read it. And AI tools, one thing happens is when they write an answer, if they bring up the sources, if people say write better, it's bad, people can actually give feedback. So say your articles are really good. It get picked up by AI tools and came and drop and give the conclusion answer the person wanted, and they're like, it's good, or else they just use it and they would ask back. Those will be the points that AI tools will pick up to, okay, this site when we reference, it's good. People don't ask me to write again. I can just write one time, I'm good. Search engines, that's the thing, because search engines send the traffic, immediately they bounced out. came back and clicking the next one. They're like, okay, we send them by putting them on the first place.
Yeah.
They came back immediately. They don't like it.
Yeah.
So now these days I'm trying to see, like Google actually has been cutting down all this, because Google realized sending people to the website is actually what's going to be beneficial, because before Google would give those answer sections below the site. And now I came across like last updates and now people are talking, no, that's not the case. Google is not more favoring that one, because people, they're sending the person to the website would build the ultimate benefit rate, because then they would go through, read it, have a holistic view of it, and then take an action maybe. So all these factors, looking at your website, making it really better with the content. When the content is good, the presentation, and that's what.
And the user experience.
User experience.
Yeah.
User experience stands out, like how people can navigate, how she's done the London business.
That's another thing to think about when you're building, especially if you're building a news kind of blog or something. Try to bear in mind that when people come to the homepage, that they find your topics easily, that they access that they can search for keywords easily, that they, basically want to make sure that they find what they're looking for very quickly, and that's what also helps to improve the on-page time. Because if people come to a website and they feel lost, or they're like, I'm confused, they jump, they go away. But if they keep on finding things that they're interested in, they keep clicking, they keep staying. So that's what you want to achieve as well, and that's all part of the strategy of the content and how you present it and how you make it accessible to the users.
Nice points from Manuela on this thing. More videos I'm going to interview Manuela for ClickDo, as well as Fernando Raymond channel about SEO. If you have any questions, you can always drop down the questions about what you think about SEO, what are the SEO strategies you follow. However, as she said, the quality of the content, the presentation of the content, the internal linking, getting the URLs right, and with a focus keyword, and getting your title tags right, supported by a properly written title supporting that keyword, and then the meta description, having the keyword on early as possible on the article. Those are the core factors if you want to increase blog traffic. Check out London Business News, Greenlevy blog, ClickDo blog.
Check out Fernando's SEO course as well, because I took that course.
She took it there,
and that actually really taught me how to improve as he explained, how to use the keywords, how to use them in the URLs.
That's something that I really focused on,
really
because these are little cool things
really
that you can score in SEO.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's about it. Thanks for listening. Drop the questions below if you have any questions. Follow Manuela on Manuela Wilbold YouTube channel. You can always Google Manuela Wilbold and see her personal branding and articles and content and everything, how she has a content strategist had evolved and done, and that's the content strategist. When you Google her name, you will see so many articles popping up where she published and all sites and things like that. And we will be back for the next video. See you again.